So firstly, just to introduce myself, my name's Racheal Gould. I'm Head of Communications at the GPhC. And before I go into the role of the GPhC, I want to just cover the topics we'll be covering tonight in the webinar, and to briefly introduce some of my colleagues as well. So we'll start off with this presentation, which is about our role. We'll then move on to hearing more about how you can register as a pharmacy technician once you reach that point in your training. And we're very much looking forward to you all joining our register as a pharmacy technician, hopefully soon. So I've got my colleague Abigail, who's here tonight, and we'll be explaining to you a bit more about the process of registration. So great to have Abigail here to explain that. And as I say, you can ask questions as we go through. Then be handing over to my colleague Amira, who's one of our clinical advisors and inspectors, and she'll be talking about the standards for pharmacy professionals that you'll be expected to meet once you're on the register, what it means to be a professional and how to demonstrate professionalism, and then also talking a bit tonight about revalidation, which again you'll need to do once you join the register. I know that can be a bit daunting, but hopefully Amira can give you some reassurance and explain what it involves as well. And then we'll go to my colleague Jerome, who is one of our senior managers at the GPhC, senior policy and planning manager in fitness to practice. And he'll be talking about fitness to practice. We know often people are very worried about fitness to practice when they're joining our register. They're worried there might be a concern raised about them and what that might mean. So hopefully Jerome will just give you some more information, explain the process, and again, reassure you that about how we manage fitness to practice concerns, and hopefully that will be reassuring for everybody to hear. And then finally, we'll go to Gemma, who's one of our inspectors, is also a pharmacy technician as well. And so we'll be able to explain how we inspect pharmacy premises, so the pharmacy premises that we regulate as well. And we'll give you a bit of insight into that. And also might be able to answer any questions you have around being a pharmacy technician and things like career options and that sort of thing. And then we'll have some questions from the audience, which I'll take from the Q&A box. So as I say, please do post any questions that come to you as we go through the evening. So I'll get started now with the role of the GPhC. So our role is to regulate pharmacy technicians, pharmacists, and pharmacies in Great Britain. It's our role to make sure people receive safe and effective pharmacy care and have trust in pharmacy. So we're here to act on behalf of patients and the public and make sure they get the care they need and they deserve. That's our focus. And our vision is very much safe and effective pharmacy care at the heart of healthier communities. We know pharmacy plays a huge role in each community and in helping the people in those communities to improve their health and well-being. So that's an overview of our role. And then moving on to the next slide, we have an important role to play in setting standards and guidance for pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, and pharmacies, which describe how safe and effective care is delivered. And Amira is going to explain a bit more about that later. And then again, Amira will describe a bit more later about how we require pharmacists and pharmacy technicians to carry out and record revalidation activities annually. This is our way of asking you to demonstrate once you're on the register that you're keeping up to date and you're reflecting on your practice. So it's a really important thing to do to show you're still up to date and give members of the public as well as the people you work with and for reassurance that you are keeping up to date, that you've got all the right skills and you're reflecting on your practice regularly. And then moving on to our next role, which is around investigating concerns about the people in pharmacies we register. So we receive thousands of concerns each year, and we look into each one and consider it. Many of these concerns might not progress much further, but when necessary, we will take proportionate action to protect the public. And Jerome, as I say, will be explaining more about that later. And then we inspect pharmacies that are on our register to make sure they're meeting our standards. So you may or may not know that we register the pharmacies on your high street, in your communities, And we also register those ones in hospitals that provide direct services to patients and the public. So where a member of the public could go in and get a medicine over the counter, or could go and present a prescription and get that prescription filled. So we also inspect those, but we don't regulate and inspect the ones that are in hospitals that only provide services to those hospitals. So, and then moving on, and next part of our role, which is very important to you all at the moment as you're doing your training as a pharmacy technician, is that we set standards for the education and training of pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, and the pharmacy team. So your courses at the moment, they have to, and the providers who are providing your education and training, they have to meet the standards we've set to make sure you learn all the right things in your education and training, you develop all the right skills and behaviours. So that's a big part of our role. And we accredit the different education and training providers, including the providers that you'll be getting your education and training from at the moment. And then once pharmacy technicians and pharmacists have completed their education and training and are ready to apply for registration, we'll review all the registration applications, and we then register and list publicly the pharmacy professionals and the pharmacies that provide care to patients and the public. So our registers are on our website. It's available 24/7. And so hopefully you'll in the near future be able to go onto our website and see your own name on that register. So that is a key part of our role, to show patients and the public, employers and others, who is able to work as a pharmacist or a pharmacy technician, and which pharmacies are registered to provide services as well. And then moving on to the next one. So wanted to talk as well about how you can get involved with our work. So we really hope that during your training, and also once you're on the register, you'll get involved with our work, let us know your views, take part in our consultation. So here's some different ways you can get involved. If you visit our website, you can find out more about, first of all, joining our pre-registration pharmacy technician feedback forum. So we have a group of pharmacy technicians in training, and who we regularly meet with them several times a year to get their feedback on the key issues that matter to them. We've had some really valuable feedback about things like the registration process and how we can make it better and simpler, as well as other issues. So it's a really great way for us to hear directly from you and your colleagues as you go through your training. And then we try and, share what we learn with others and take action in response as well. So please consider joining that feedback forum. We'd really love to have some more members. The next one is around signing up to receive important news and update emails from us. So have a look on the website for more info about that. You can take part in our consultations. We consult regularly on things like developing our guidance and our standards, and things like also how we make sure education and training, including your education and training, is of the right standard. And then finally, you can also find out about other upcoming events, things like events like this one. So please do go and have a look on the website. So, and then finally, just a word about social media. So first of all, you may be thinking, as you're training to become a pharmacy professional, about what's appropriate for you to, when you're online, in terms of how you can demonstrate your professionalism online and make sure you're not posting anything that might be inappropriate as you're during your training or once you become a professional. So we just wanted to flag, we've got some guidance on demonstrating professionalism online. So if you're active on social media, please do have a read of that, which gives some useful do's and don'ts and help you navigate that complex world of social media. And then also, please do follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. It's a great way to find out what's going on, what we're up to, and always some useful insights through that. So please do do sort of follow us and keep up to date that way as well.